Hello, everyone. Welcome to TurkishSoccer.com weekly program. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut, and we're going to be talking about Turkish football in general, especially in general, Turkish Super League, what's going on after the coronavirus break. As you know, last weekend, the 28 weekend matches played. There were some controversial calls. There were some talks about referees, talks about coaches, and talks about team officials. So let's run down what happened in the 28th week. As you know, Friday, Başakşehirspor opened the 28th week with on Friday traveling to Ankara and beating Ankaragücü 2-1 in Ankara. So Başakşehir claimed their first place spot on Friday and then waited until Monday to see if anybody was going to grab it. We thought that Trabzon was going to reclaim the first place from Başakşehir, but that didn't happen. You know all about it. The controversial play in the last minute in the stoppage time, and Alanyaspor scored a goal, and they draw against Trabzonspor. It was a huge draw, and it was a huge loss, I would say, point loss for Trabzonspor, because this is going to damage their title hopes. But nothing is really finished yet, because we have still many games to be played. We're going to be in 29th week, and we'll get to those matches in shortly. But I want to talk about what happened in the 28th week. And like I said, Friday, Başakşehir won. And on Saturday, Gençlerbirliği Kayserispor match. There's one thing, when I look at this game, Kayseri was desperate for points, which they earned 3 points in their home in Kayseri against Galatasaray, against Gençlerbirliği. But one thing I want to tell you right now, Turkish Super League is flaming. It's hot. Hot on top and hot on bottom, because we're going to talk in a little bit later, because there are many teams, if they don't win games next few matches, weekends, they are going to be in trouble. And the other match on Saturday, Göztepe, Malatyaspor, another team is struggling, beat Göztepe in Malatya 2-1. And another match on Saturday, Beşiktaş went to Denizli and then won big. Beşiktaş beat Denizlispor 5-1. That was a huge win for them. So, and at least with the young players and young coach Sergen Yalçın, it could bring Beşiktaş move up the ladders later on in the few weeks. But Beşiktaş has very bad financial problems with the team. They are in trouble financially. We'll see what happens. On Sunday, Fenerbahçe-Kasımpaşa match. This was disaster for Fenerbahçe. Fenerbahçe fans are really mad, are sad too, and they lost to Kasımpaşa 2-0. Things are not looking good for Fenerbahçe for the rest of the season. I thought they were going to come back good, but Emre going out with the red card last week and not being on the roster, and then not really having a really coach on the sideline, because they hired this temporary caretaker on the sideline. That is not going to do any good for Fenerbahçe the way I see it right now. Fenerbahçe has to reorganize as a team for next season and get players and get good coach, and because Fenerbahçe fans and Fenerbahçe team is used to be on top, aiming for the title every year. But this hasn't happened this year so far, and it is not going to happen too. And other match on Sunday, Galatasaray Gaziantep match. It was You call it anything you want to call it, but I tell you, the referee, there was talks about bad refereeing. There was talks about Galatasaray not playing good. Last 10 minutes, if I were Galatasaray fan, it was disaster to see a Galatasaray team in the last 10 minutes. Their defense, their midfield was nothing. That's why they gave chances to Galatasaray team, Gaziantep team, to score the late goal. And then I think a little bit with the decisions from the referee, younger referee, really messed things around. When was the last time you saw referee calling for too much time for a goalkeeper to hold the ball in his hand? I never seen that quite some time in Turkish Super League. This was first time in a long time, but that's not the reason why Galatasaray draw this match. They had the match, even though Gaziantep scored first, Galatasaray came back and they were up 2-1. If you don't get that third goal, you're not going to be comfortable on the field, which was the case. And Galatasaray was not comfortable on the pitch last 10 minutes. And then, like 12, 13 minutes, a stoppage time came in. And that's when Gaziantep scored the tying goal. So the match ended 3-3. This really end the hope for Galatasaray for the title. But again, it's not going to make. I would still think they still have a chance for second place, and we'll talk about the standings after the matches. In Sunday's other matches, Sivasspor, they had it. They thought they were going to win the match, but they draw in Konya 2-2. Another huge loss for Sivasspor. If they would have won this match, it would have been perfect for them to at least have a hope for the title, which that didn't happen. Sivasspor is in boiling with transfer news with certain players. I think that affects the Sivas team on the pitch. On Monday, there was two matches. Alanyaspor, Trabzonspor. Trabzonspor was winning, and Alanyaspor tied the match in the stoppage time, 2-2. And then after the match, Trabzonspor, chairman of the board or official, ran to the field and argued with Alanyaspor people on the sideline there. That was not good. And I know Trabzonspor president is very well maintained. He was a gentleman, but until that night, on Monday night, I think he shouldn't have done that. He was better than that. So Trabzonspor lost at least 2 points there. It is going to hurt them for claiming the title, but like I said in the beginning of the match, it's still not over. A lot of people say Başakşehir will claim the title this season. I don't think so. There's a lot to be played yet in the Turkish Super League. In the last match of 28 weekend was played in Antalya. Antalya beat Rizespor. Rizespor is in very deep trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Antalyaspor, with this win, they're in a comfortable position, and we'll see what happens. But after the 28-week matches played, we're looking at Başakşehir in the first place with 59 points, and Trabzonspor, after losing 2 points behind second place, 57 points. Sivasspor, another team, lost 2 points with 53 points. Can you imagine if Sivasspor would have won that match in Konya? Their points would have been 55 points, right behind Trabzonspor and right behind Başakşehir. On the other hand, the fourth place, the team that draw this weekend was Galatasaray with 51 points. So they're at least 8 points behind Başakşehir, the first place team. But one important thing, they are playing against Başakşehir in Istanbul this weekend in the 29th week. That's going to be a huge game. If they beat Başakşehir, that will be a plus for Galatasaray and plus for all Sivas and Trabzonspor, because at least they will stop Başakşehir with 59 points. But other than win for Galatasaray, it will demolish their chances. And looking at the fifth place right now after winning in Denizli, Beşiktaş in fifth place, 47 points. And sixth place, the team that Alanyaspor I talked about, if you guys remember, in the beginning of 27th week, I said this Alanyaspor is going to hurt a couple teams on top, which they did. They hurt Trabzonspor with a draw, and then they hurt the Fenerbahçe in the cup game. So they are in the cup game against Trabzonspor. So I would like to know what's going to happen in the cup game when they play again against Trabzonspor. And seventh place is Fenerbahçe with 44. And eighth place, I don't even want to get into it, Göztepe from Izmir, 37. But here's the thing that I want to talk about a little bit. The relegation zone. The teams are in danger. It starts from, I tell you, from the 10th place. From Gaziantep has 34 points, and the rack bottom team, 18th place, Ankaragücü has 24 points. So, 10-point different teams, you look at it, Kayseri with 28 points, Konya with 27 points, Rize with 28 points, Malatya with 28 points, and Denizli 31, Gençlerbirliği 31, Kasımpaşa 32, and Gaziantep with 34. If these teams don't win their matches, they're going to be in deep trouble. And one more important thing about these teams, they are playing against each other, and then they're playing against, some of them are playing against the teams are fighting for the title. So there are many, many, many good matches to come yet in the Turkish Super League. So we'll see what happens, but very controversial. 28th weekend in the Turkish Super League finished, and Başakşehir finished on top. And then we'll see what happens in 29th week. But looking at the future, it's not going to be easy. I cannot say right now Başakşehir is going to claim the title, because the point difference is with the second place team is only 2 points. With Galatasaray is only 8 points. So there are many, many matches to be played. Looking at 29th week on Friday.